Hi, this is Roger from AirTanksPlus.com. Today I want to show you our Cascade system in action. We're the only ones that really offer this feature in a fill system. So I'm going to talk briefly about the shooting trailer, talk about the Cascade system, why it's important, and then actually go through and do a test run, show you it, and then we'll actually fill a gun and put it to practical use. So this is our shooting trailer. We come up here, we go hunting a couple of times a year. We shoot ground squirrels, and you can see our other videos on YouTube on it. But we go through a lot of air, and in the days of past when we had air guns that just filled up to 3,000 psi, one of these big 88 cubic foot tanks can get you through. The problem is on modern air guns, a lot of them fill to 36, 42, or even 4,500 psi, which means that if this is a 4,500 psi tank, once you fill that air gun a couple of times, you no longer get a full fill on it. You only get partial fills, which is not a big deal. It just means you got to get off the fun wagon and refill it more often. So there's different ways around it. There's something called tethering, regulated, but that's a whole other subject. I might show you that in a bit. But let's talk about the Cascade system. So these are two 66 cubic foot tanks. They're Scba tanks. They fill to 4,500 psi. We've been drawing off this one over here, and it's down to about 3,500 psi. And our end result is to fill an air gun to 3,600 psi as efficiently as possible. So what we have here is a Cascade system. We've got these brackets that securely hold these tanks in place, and we have a deadhead here mounted, our deadhead mounted, and this is our main fill line. So first I'm going to simulate what we're going to do. So this will go to your air gun in a minute. But in theory of what we're doing is with the stickman has two ports. So we'll do this. So we've got the regular fill system where you attach it to a single bottle and you fill your air gun. We also have this other port right here, and that was designed originally to hold the female quick connect and keep this from falling in the dirt. But this is a one-way valve here, so we can actually push air this way, but air will not go out that way. So we're going to use that. We're going to connect in our CascadeMan to it. And I'm just going to close this bleed valve. And we're deadheaded off, so nothing's going to happen. But if you look close, I'm going to open this valve, and I'm going to take the 3,500 psi that's in it and show you on this gauge. So if I was doing this, I would fill my air gun. This would be attached to the air gun, and I would slowly fill it. And you can see how slow I'm moving this. And this is a microbore hose. All I'm doing is filling the hose. I'm not even filling an air gun. And you can see how I can control that valve. So in theory, I'm filling the air gun, filling the air gun, filling the air gun. And I run out of... Oh, I just ran out of air in this bottle. It can only get me to 3,500 psi, but I want to go to 36 or 42. So what you do is you use the air of this bottle, you close the valve, and then you crack the valve on this one. This one's got 4,000 psi, so you can see now I can boost the air. You see it? So I'm filling up more than this bottle can fill, and the air is not going back into this bottle. This valve is closed. This is a one-way valve. So now I finished filling my gun up. So what you're doing, you're getting more air than you would out of two separate bottles, and you're able to easily draw this one down to fill the air gun from 18 all the way up to whatever it has, and now you're using this one to top it off. So this is a great system for your big bore air guns, guns that use a lot of air. This is a good way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to fill an air gun now, that you know what I'll be doing. So I'm going to make sure the valves are closed. I'm going to use this to bleed the air safely out the back. The gauge goes down. I'm going to grab an air gun. This one fills to 36. Set it down. Right. Go. Now I'm going to connect it, take it off the deadhead, bring it around and stick it on that guy. Okay? So our process is make sure the bleed valve is closed. Take the tank with the low pressure coming in on the Cascade. And we're slowly going to open the valve. And that's going to pressurize this line, this guy, all the way down and start filling this air gun. You see it's filling fast because the air gun still has air in it. And it'll slow down, you'll hear it click. So we're now filling the air gun, I believe. Let's see. pretend that this bottle only has 3,000 psi in it. So let's say that that's as much as we can get out of this tank. So now we just close this valve and we slowly open this valve and we'll take this tank up to 3,600. See how I'm doing that? Great. I'm just going to simulate that. So I'll go ahead and bleed the air. So this is what you do to get the most air out of it. When this bottle is no longer able to be of any value, this one comes off. This tank that's now down to lower than we want goes over here and becomes the first tank. So that's a Cascade fill system. And then we replace this tank with one that's got 4,500 and we keep chucking. So hope you guys enjoyed that. You can leave your comments below. And thanks for watching and thanks for being our customer.